Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, said that his death leaves a deep void in the Indian cultural sphere. Not only were his renditions outstanding, he also made a mark as an exceptional mentor to several other vocalists.
Hi, Vaishnavi. Thanks for that introduction. I think there was a slight technical glitch in the beginning, so I apologize for that. But now we should be good. So I would like to first of all thank all of our audience and this great opportunity that we have to share some music and tribute to Pandit Jasraj today. So we have a good, very good lineup that our exec members from KHMC have prepared. They recorded small clips of compositions of Pandit Jasraj, and they shared especially exclusively for our KHMC live program. So all our audiences, I would just request, please stick with us till the end because we have great lineup of Carnatic and Hindustani segment. So having said that, I would like to move to our first piece, uh, and let us begin with since we have all these great lineup. We will be having 6 or 7 performances. So let us begin with Mrs. Nilima Chaturvedi, who is the music teacher in Boston area. And yeah, so let's begin with that. 1 second. Okay.
I'm Nilima Chaturvedi, and I will be presenting a bhajan in honor of the music legend Pandit Jasraj, who has left this world a few days ago.
that was great, right, Vaishnavi?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So before I pull the next one, maybe Vaishnavi have something more to share uh, regarding Panditji, because I think it's very inspiring. His whole life, he had a good span of 90 years, and we can't have enough of enough of these legends, even if they are on earth forever. We can't have. They are infinite. Their talent is infinite. So maybe Vaishnavi, go ahead and educate our audience with more of the
Not sure if
facts.
you can educate them, but I felt personally, I felt that when I was a kid growing up, I heard him the first time. I felt his voice was so sweet, and I got drawn to his singing. The way he used his voice, and it felt very melodious to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that there are Jasraj institutes in USA which are grooming great students and kids here, and we have our own. I think many people in the New England. I think Aditya is one of them who's come out of that school, and they do shibirs and they do a lot. And Panditji himself actually hosts those workshops and shibirs, and it's such a dedicated life he has, with music and everything. So it's a great loss to a lot of his students and the music fraternity. Um,
Yeah, yeah, and how what a coincidence that he was in US, right?
yeah.
That like he for him the whole globe was his family, his world,
Hmm.
and his daha samskars were done in India.
Hmm.
And you can see even during COVID time, when I saw the live video coming from his daughter,
Yeah.
Durga Jasraji, it was so moving. Everything I felt as if I was present there. She was telecasting live on her page, and it just felt very divine. Actually, I sometimes cry when I see. I just can't see all that, but in this case, I felt very divine. I mean, I felt like so, like God is present right there, and God is going to take care, you know,
Hmm.
further. So I do have the
Yeah, one
next.
other thing I want to share, I got to know that his youth
Yes.
was spent in Hyderabad, my hometown. So that was,
Ah, okay.
yeah.
I do also have. I think we all have whoever attended his concerts experienced, transcendental state of being at different level. So he used to uplift even his audience to a very different level. You know,
Mm,
that experience is so unique.
correct.
I do have to share something that I'll share later. We
Yeah.
are going to talk a lot. Remember him, truly remember him. And next, if if you allow me to share my next video, uh, yes, so here it is. So we have Jayanti Ghatrajuji here, and uh, she wanted to pay tribute. So let me
Can you
share
start from the
her.
beginning?
Namaste, I'm Jayanti Ghatraju. As a small humble offering from me, I'm going to present Panditji's popular album Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, a small excerpt talking about Govardhanodharam Dhiram. The original composition was by King Mahabali when he saw Lord Vishnu descend on earth as Vamanavataram. Since this is a season of Onam, I thought it would be more appropriate. As we see, Krishna took the Govardhana, the beings in Govardhana, to a higher plane, physically as well as spiritually. So Panditji's music did the same amount of magic and wonders, taking us to a completely different plane. Here it is, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om गोकुलानन्दं गोपालं गोपीवल्लभं गोवर्धनोद्धरं वीरं गोवर्धनोद्धरं वीरं तं वन्दे गोमतीप्रियम् ॐ नमो भगवते नारायणं निराकारं नरवीरं नरोत्तमं नारायणं निराकारं नरवीरं नरोत्तमं नृसिंहं नागनाथं च नृसिंहं नागनाथं च तं वन्दे नरकान्तकम् ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
Awesome.
That was so nice.
Something
Right?
different, right? Dance, which
Yeah,
we always incorporate in our KHMC programs. Every now and
definitely.
then.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so Vaishnavi, why don't you talk about one of the concerts that you might have attended of Panditji? Meanwhile, I have another lineup and I'll set that up.
I think the last concert was in Boston recently, right? When he came and sang a lot of bhajans. It was in Boston. That was the last I attended, and I think that was the last of his concerts in this area.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Any other memories you have that you would like to share?
um, he always you, when you look at the when you look at him performing, right, he's into his music when he's on stage and ready to you know I think most of it's the same for any artist, I presume. They actually enjoy the music, and when they enjoy, we audience feel the joy that they are passing it on to us, right? So the same goes with Panditji. When he sings anything, it's coming from his heart, which kind of is what I always look at when I as a student of music want to understand and try to achieve. Yeah, so
All right. So with all that going on, I would like to, share another video, and I'm almost all set to share it. So before it is too late, let me share.
also it
I,
took
Mhm.
it was a short period of time, right? We had to put everything together. This has been a
Oh yeah, this
effort
has been very
from all of us, right? To
exactly. Yeah,
just get the videos in a day and
yeah, yeah.
put it together. It's a lot of work.
Well, but I think
And every one of us, most of us have full-time jobs, and we're all passionate about
exactly,
music, and we are trying to, do what we can.
of course, yeah. So 1 second. Oops. Okay, I had something on. Now I'll just pull that again. Okay, let's see if this works. Yeah, as I was saying, I do have all these really, what do you say, very emotional memories. So once when he came to Boston, and I was like, I heard him, and then I just couldn't stop and go and touch his feet, and I just bursted out because I had no words what to say him. Like, just look, I just got so filled with joy and all that I had absolutely no, you know, nothing to say. And all I did, I just bursted out in tears in front of him and just touched his feet. And then he just said, like, he asked so lovingly, "What's your name? Where are you coming from?" And all those kind of, and he was actually was trying to make sure that I don't take it too, like, just trying to console
So that
me.
you're okay. You're
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
So yeah, there we have our next.
Namaste.
Yes, we have Uma.
My name is Mashankar. I'm a Carnatic vocalist and I'm also one of the KHMC committee member. I would like to present a humble offering to Pandit Jasraj ji today. I will be singing 4 shlokas, one after the other, and I hope you all enjoy. Thank you. मूषिकवाहन मोदकहस्त मूषिकवाहन मोदकहस्त चामरकर्ण विलम्बितसूत्र वामनरूप महेश्वरपुत्र विघ्नविनायक पादनमस्ते गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करम् लोकशङ्करम् सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा भवतु मे सदा Thank you.
Thank you, Uma. That was awesome. So yeah, Uma is she teaches Carnatic. She's a very well-known, very awesome Carnatic musician here in Greater Boston area.
All
And
family is musical family. She has 2 daughters who sing, husband who sings
yeah,
Bollywood, Mohammed Rafi,
yeah, of course, yeah.
and yeah,
I
she
mean,
sings Carnatic music. The whole family
whole
is
family is music,
entrenched. Yeah.
and we are like we are a bunch of really musically, passionate people here in KHMC, and our audience and our host. Everybody in Boston is so blessed with so much of music and culture. What do you think, Vaishnavi?
Oh,
Including you, of course.
you too. You have 3 boys, 3 kids. Not boys. You have 2 girls and a boy, right? Yeah. All of
Yeah, yeah,
music. Yeah.
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 So yeah, uh, I mean, the young talent, as you know, that KHMC, gives opportunity to young talent, and it keeps them engaged musically. We have great music teachers in Hindustani and Carnatic in Boston
I
area.
think this is the chance for us to actually tell our audience that we are always promoting young talent, and we want the young talent to come and attend our programs and listen to our programs too, which is so important.
Exactly,
It's so
exactly,
important. It's not just performing your piece and just moving on, right? It's
exactly.
coming and listening to the other art forms, and how feeding each other with encouraging each other, and getting inspired from each other's work. So important. I think when I was growing up, I saw a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
I know quite a few friends of mine who actually have gone into film playback singing, and I think one other
Oh,
friend of mine actually sang at Savai Gandharv. So
okay.
yeah,
That's amazing.
it's amazing to see
Yeah, of
people,
course.
scaling heights of music.
Yeah, I can't agree more. I can't agree enough, I should say, with what you just said. So I do have well, so next is you, Vaishnavi.
Yeah,
Thanks
myself.
for sending that clip.
Yeah.
Um, I feel privileged to hear everyone, and uh, I tried my best to compile this. So let's see. Let's
What
try
time?
to.
You got all the videos, what, last night or
Oh
today?
yeah, I got
Yeah, no time.
we
Yeah.
all are busy, so you know how it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I really appreciate everybody sending the videos right away, and so yes, so let's go.
You have to rewind. You got to rewind it a bit.
Oh yeah, let me rewind a
My name
bit.
is Vaishnavi and today I'm singing Rag Jog, a composition by Pandit Jasraj. हनुमान लला प्यारे प्यारे लला हनुमान लला प्यारे प्यारे लला हनुमान लला प्यारे प्यारे लला प्यारे प्यारे लला सुकुमार लला अंजनी पुत्र दीलंका जला अंजनी पुत्र दीलंका जला हनुमान लला प्यारे प्यारे लला हनुमान लला प्यारे प्यारे लला राम को राम बनाया तुमने पर्वत हाथ उठाया तुमने लक्ष्मण को जिलाया तुमने संकट मोचन नाम तिहारो काटो 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 मेरी भला भला हनुमान लला प्यारे
Wow, Vaishnavi, I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
That was so
Another
beautiful and
fact I
so
think a lot
sweet.
of people know about Panditji is that he started off as a tabla player and then decided to be a vocalist.
Oh yes, and the fun fact is that in it was one of the Kumar Gandharvaji's concert,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and he just took up that challenge. Actually, this morning I was telling my daughter about this fact because one of our members, Suchita ji, she shared this today or yesterday with us, and it's amazing fact, right? Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not easy to. It needs such a determination to do it. Yeah. So let's move on to next is Vandana Rao. Vandana Rao is our another exec member here, and she runs art of
For art and
creativity.
wellness. Yeah,
Yeah,
art
okay.
and wellness.
Yeah, and she has some students, great students too, and we are, as I said before, we are a bunch of very passionate, CMs, committee members here. So let's move on to our next presentation by Vandana Rao. Sorry about that.
कहाँ करूँ वैकुंठ ही जाए, कहाँ करूँ वैकुंठ ही जाए, कहाँ करूँ वैकुंठ जहाँ नहीं नंद, जहाँ नहीं यशोदा, जहाँ नहीं नंद नंद नंद, जहाँ नहीं नंद, जहाँ नहीं यशोदा, जहाँ न गोपी ग्वालन गाए, कहाँ करूँ वैकुंठ ही जाए, कहाँ करूँ वैकुंठ जहाँ नहीं जल जमुना को निर्मल, जहाँ नहीं जल जमुना को निर्मल, और नहीं कदम की छाएं, कहाँ करूँ वैकुंठ ही जाए, कहाँ करूँ वैकुंठ। परमानंद प्रभु चतुर ग्वालिनी, परमानंद 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 प्रभु चतुर ग्वालिनी,
ब्रज रज तज मेरी जाए बनाए ब्रज रज तज मेरी जाए बनाए कहाँ करो वैकुंठ जाए कहाँ करो वैकुंठ जहाँ नहीं नंद नंद जहाँ नहीं नंद जहाँ नहीं यशोदा जहाँ ना गोपी ग्वालन गाए कहाँ करो वैकुंठ वैकुंठ वैकुंठ
Well, thank you, Vandana. That was amazing. It's so nice, right? Like, of course, I mean, we are not, at least I can say for myself, we can't, even seeing him in this lifetime is more than I think I deserve. Sometimes I feel that, you know, like even seeing, even knowing that such personalities existing. um, you might have heard like Tansen in past, or like you know, you hear this, all these great Bade Ghulam Ali Khan Sahab and great names, and witnessing one of those. So Vaishnavi, you're word in mute. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was just, the phrase Jai Ho
Oh yeah.
by him first, right? And then A.R. Rahman's Jai Ho song came through, but the original Jai Ho is Pandit Jasraj ji.
Oh yeah. And it's such a beautiful way of greeting.
Mm-hmm.
So on that note, Jai Ho to all our audience today.
Yes.
And Jai Ho to you. So yeah, we have a couple of more presentations lined up. And of course, next one is me, myself. So Vaishnavi, if you want to introduce me, go ahead.
So Jyoti Sharma is a Hindustani music teacher here in the Nashua area, and she has 3 lovely kids who are all into music: Janani, Sarla, and Jairaj. So all of them do some sort of music or another, and they all put together something or the other in IANH all the time. I've seen them on stage, and it's nice to know your family, and happy to call you a friend.
Same here, Vaishnavi. So let's move on to the next one, next presentation.
Areva.
Namaste everybody. As a part of tribute to Pandit Jasraj ji, myself Jyoti Sharma, one of the exec members of KHMC, would like to present Mata Kalika in Rag Adana. May his soul rest in peace, and let's all pray for him. With me today I have Sarla on harmonium and Janani supporting for vocals.
Awesome, Jyoti. That was
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you, Vaishnavi.
Your daughters with you and performing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know how it is. Like with kids, music is not an easy journey. So they need, you know, all they can do is just keep learning, 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 learning. That's
Yeah,
all.
you got them to at least do this, right? That's a great achievement.
Well, I try. I'm sure I've seen parents going so far, and that's the result of why HMC is is the only platform that I know is giving this great opportunity for youngster. If I think there a lot of people are following our live shows, live Facebook concerts, and I'm amazed to see all the youngsters presenting.
Mhm.
It's so nice. We have all these videos lined up, and whenever I get chance, I go back and repeat and again see those videos.
Also, we've been doing it what for the past 2, 3 months now, every week without
Yeah,
fail. We got
exactly,
a good
exactly,
lineup of people coming every week, which is amazing to see, and they're all from the USA, mostly from this area.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And so nice that they are ready. Even in a short notice, and credit goes to their parents and their gurus.
correct.
Even
Absolutely.
in a short notice, okay, they are ready. And I'm so surprised and I'm impressed by that attitude that whenever you're called, you're ready to perform. That's the readiness that they have,
So
right?
after this pandemic ends and we all go back to our, Patak style, home concerts, house
Home
concerts.
concerts,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think we should see more of, you know, audiences. I think they should all come and,
yeah, definitely,
encourage the young talent mostly. It's good to
definitely, yeah. I
more,
200% agree with that.
yeah.
So let's move on to the concluding piece, and our next presentation is by Mrs. Suchita Rao. I think hardly anybody in Boston may not know her. There's no introduction needed. But go ahead, Vaishnavi. Go ahead and introduce Suchita ji.
Yeah, Suchita ji is really, I think everybody knows her here. She, I think, teaches at her own school, Rasa Arts or something like that. And then, and also at LearnQuest. And she's been teaching Indian classical, I think, for a really long time. And from what I heard, that KHMC was founded in somebody's home, and I think Pradeep ji, Shuchita ji, and a few others would just come there, jam together, sit down, and sing. I think Mathur ji,
Mathurji, Suresh Mathurji, he is the founder.
yeah,
And of course, we should mention Durga Krishnan ji. They
uh-huh.
are the, key
Yeah.
people
Mhm.
to start KTMC as a non-profit organization.
Mhm.
And we have maintained its flavor even down the road more than 25 years now.
Mhm.
Right?
And Shuchita ji's two kids, she has two kids, a daughter and a son. Both are into music,
Yeah.
and it's nice to see again. We are all, as you say, passionate musical families, and trying to keep this culture alive in America. In
Yeah.
the inner part, yeah.
So let me pull the screen again and share.
Namaste, my name is Shuchita. I was always inspired by Pandit Jasraj's music since a young age. It will always inspire me. Here is a shlok composed by Pandit Jasraj in praise of Devi, and I humbly submit it in this melody. मयुकोटि पराशर सुरराज संस्थापिने निरञ्जने नारायणे निरञ्जने नारायणे निरञ्जने नारायणे निरञ्जने नारायणे निरञ्जने नारायणे निरञ्जने May Pandit Jasraj's soul rest in peace. My humble pranam.
Awesome. Bhairavi. That was great.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I think this was not enough. We should do this again sometime, huh? When we have our Kathak, style. But yeah, in a short notice, because this is a recent happening, we just wanted to take this opportunity to still put something together, remember Panditji, and reel in his. We all will get busy in our day-to-day work and life. So I would just say, just put his music in background, and it will just energize you to keep going, and the vibrations that come out of even listening to those beautiful words and is great. So with that, we kind of concluded our first segment. So Vaishnavi, it's all yours. Please introduce our Carnatic artist today. And namaste everyone. And thank you so much for having me, Vaishnavi, today.
Thank you, Jyoti. So today, actually, the next piece is violin solo by Srimati SmithaKrishnan. She's a student of Sri Delhi Sundararajan, and she has had her vocal training under the late Padma Srinivasan and advanced training from Sri Thiruvarur Girish. Smitha had played solo concerts, and also she has accompanied many well-known artists across the US and India. She holds a doctorate degree in chemical engineering and is currently a liver biologist at CRI SPR Therapeutics in Cambridge. And she has a little kiddo at home and still finds time to do music. So today we are going to hear her perform something in Carnatic style on her violin.
Just bear with us for one more minute. I mean, we are almost there. Yep.
like to thank KHMC for giving me this opportunity, and I wish you all a very healthy and prosperous Ganesh Chaturthi. Thank you.
That was SmithaKrishnan, and she is also a committee member in KHMC. Her tribute to Pandit Jasraj as well. I would like to also tell you a few more things about KHMC. Basically, we have Carnatic and Hindustani enthusiasts in our committee. Our president is Mali Santana Krishnan, himself a good mridangist, and Shiva, and then we have Varun. Varun is also, he plays mridangam, and Smita, Uma as well. They all represent the Carnatic portion of our committee members. And we have Shuchita ji, myself, Vandana Rao, Jyoti Sharma, and Nilima ji on the Hindustani side. Yeah. So with that, I think we come to the end of this program. And also I'd like to mention that this Sunday or Saturday, I'm not sure which date, but we have a concert online through LearnQuest. The concert featuring Ustad Rashid Khan Saab. So if anybody is interested to watch it, please go to LearnQuest website and buy the tickets from there. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I stopped. Hello. The live is stopped.